huge. They're just huge. I mean, that's like 2 feet long. Cherry tomatoes. Yeah, right. That is a good one. Look at that. See?
Whoa. What is that?
I don't know.
Why did you throw it?
I don't know, because you freaked me out. I thought you saw something. I didn't see.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah, I just smashed a whole bunch of cherry tomatoes. Good morning, almost afternoon. It is October. What is today's date?
The day, Sunday.
Mid-October.
Yeah.
It's October 16th, 2022, and we are gonna do little things in the garden today. First thing is the 2 beds that we plant our garlic in are disasters, so we're gonna clean those out. The other thing I would like to get done today is possibly harvesting our sweet potatoes. I don't know if we got anything, but we also have a lot of peppers that need to get picked because I'm going to be freezing a whole bunch of diced peppers so that I can just do a big batch of canning at some point this winter. I'm just going to do what we do. Let me show you what the garden looks like now. So here is what the garden looks like now. It's a mess. These are the 2 garden beds that we use for garlic every year. So I need to clean out these old plants in here and harvest anything that's left. We're supposed to be getting a lot of rain the next couple of days, so I want to get these cleaned out and the beds tilled up. Just let them rest for a little bit because we have at least a few weeks before we need to plant the garlic, but I'd like to get the beds ready and reset before that. We still have some green tomatoes in here too. This is a mess over here. Well, we're just gonna clean all this stuff out today. My main concern also is the sweet potatoes need to come out. The vines are starting to look sad in there. We have tons and tons of peppers to harvest. Steve wants to fertilize the fruit trees today too, before the rain tomorrow and the next day. So we're gonna start with the sweet potato bed here. I'm going to cut all the vines out first, and we'll see what's going on underneath, and then we're gonna either trellis up this tomato plant here and harvest all the tomatoes that way. That's Sunrise Bumblebee cherry tomatoes. Yeah, right.
Nope.
They're so pretty. They were my favorite last year, and I didn't get these to grow until later in the season. So it'll be nice to have those. But we'll start with clearing out the vines. Wish I could remember when I planted these. But I think I did them late this year. I'm a little nervous that there might be something living in here.
I don't think there is.
Because for a while there, whenever time I did something, I could hear things moving. But hopefully it was just frogs. So we're gonna feed our chickens the sweet potato vines. We did it last year, I believe, and we just throw them into their chicken run. And right now we're also trying to pick out any of the tomatoes that may have landed in here so that we don't have too many volunteers in here next year. We gave the sweet potato vines to the chickens last year, and it worked out really good because they pick through it and break down. Right now, it looks like they're unsure about what it is. All right, back to this. Here's how the bed looks now. We're already seeing some sweet potatoes in there. So when you're digging, don't pull them. We're gonna you want to dig down like as far as you can, because if you pull them, you can break them. And we don't want to do that. So you just kind of like that's our first one.
How deep do they go?
I don't know. That is a good one. Look at that. See? Already seeing a big difference than last year because I used bone meal. So those are the sweet potatoes we got this year. I'm really happy with it. I'm going to talk about that a little bit more at the end of the video.
Need a little basket.
A little basket for the cherry tomatoes that are on here.
Or a big basket.
I showed this earlier, but this is what these beds look like. So Steve just cleaned up all the cherry tomatoes underneath that were yucky, and we're going to give those to the chickens. And then we're going to harvest a bunch of the green ones and the ones that we can eat to bring inside. And then we're going to go around and harvest some of the green things that are around here. Like there's those tomatoes over there. And I'm still not sure if we're going to leave the eggplant there for now. We picked some here that they're green, pink, kind of. They'll ripen inside. And we'll be able to use them. But now we're going to find my snips and just break off small branches so we're not dropping cherry tomatoes all throughout the garden. So now we're gonna pick up all these tomatoes off the ground, and then I have these provider bushing green beans here. These are from Fruition Seeds. I have some of these pods here I let go to seed, so I'm gonna harvest some of those and let them dry inside, and then take that plant out and then work on the rest of it. Okay, that's how the first bed looks. Probably just gonna weed around it a little bit more and then maybe till it up a little bit. There's an onion set in here that I'm gonna be leaving alone. But other than that, everything else came out. And now we have this bed, which is full of yucky tomatoes and some green ones. This is the bed that I had the crimson sweet watermelon in here. Oh yeah, there's something moving under there. Okay, so here is how this bed looks, and I'm still trying to clean some of this up, but I'm just gonna get some of the yucky tomatoes out of there and leave it for now because we're supposed to be getting some rain apparently in the next 15 minutes or so, and I still have things I want to do, like harvest peppers over there. So I'm gonna grab a bunch of the green tomatoes that I see and put them in the basket, and then I'm gonna go over and start harvesting peppers.
The black on these things means that they're...
Yeah, it's just like a type of sunburn. It's no big deal. This bed here is our bell pepper bed, and the bed next to it is the hot pepper bed, and they've gotten really unruly. And on the end here I have a very large marigold plant from one seed that I planted. Yep, we're just gonna go through and harvest a lot of the peppers, and I will include them in a bunch of the ones that I'm going to be freezing. You can overwinter peppers. Like if I dug them up, put them in the pot, cut them back, I could keep them indoors and then they would come back next year, but we just don't have the room for that inside.
Yeah. And I feel like when you tried that last year, they started the flowers well before spring.
Yeah, I mean, if we didn't have a greenhouse though, and if I had a greenhouse, I would be able to move them out. I was really nervous we weren't gonna get any poblanos this year, and a couple of these plants, I'm assuming there's more than one, but we've gotten quite a bit towards the end of the season. They've been really good.
These are weird looking. They're like just pointy.
The leisure peppers?
Yeah.
Yep.
How many jalapenos do you think you have compared to last year? Did I ask that?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I grew a lot last year.
Well, I feel like there's a lot.
There's a lot in here. I grew a lot last year, and I had 2 full big harvests of them. So, I'm not sure. We got a good amount, though. I have a lot to can. All right, so we harvested. I still see way more peppers in there. I just can't do any more. We harvested a whole bunch of different kinds of peppers. I'll show you that in a few minutes. Right now, we're still trying to beat the rain and go and fertilize some of our fruit trees. Yeah. I also will need to fertilize the blueberries and stuff, but I'm not doing that today. I haven't been up here in a while. So normally with tree tone or garden tone or any of the tones made by Espoma, whenever, that's blowing my way. Whenever we top dress them like that, we usually like work it into the soil really good. However, we have cages on here to protect the trees from deer, and we can't really get in there to do that. So we're just gonna sprinkle a little bit of fertilizer for now. A little bit of tree tone. It's so pretty out here. What do you think, Rocky? We did get apples this year, but they weren't great. Looked like bugs had gotten some of them, animals had gotten some of them. And I know it was most likely because of the drought this year. It wasn't too good, but we did get like 5 apples. But by the time I brought them in, they were kind of yucky. And they were from the 2 Cortland trees right here. Hello, ladies. That's a cherry tree.
Kind of self-pollinates.
That is a Stella sweet cherry tree. I really need to harvest these Luffas.
The one that I threw in the woods, I saw it and it's dried out. And like it looks like a sponge. It's crazy.
On the inside?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they're drying out on the inside, I don't want them getting wet the next couple days. That's how they rot. Here's our strawberries. I cannot believe this has only been a few months of me not tending to it, and it's just utter chaos all around. That's going to be a project. Those are our pear trees. Oh, I see a pear on the moonglow plant.
Yeah.
The moonglow tree.
It's got black spots on it.
We have a Bartlett pear tree, and then that one's a moonglow.
That side looks all right.
Yeah.
Wormies.
Here is our kiwi vines, and the leaves are starting to die back on them. Like I've said a few times before, we got a few kiwi berries growing on them this year, but the birds got to them. I'm gonna look for some netting that won't look too terrible to throw over here. After all the leaves have died back, I'll come through and prune the vines to make sure that they stay pretty contained to this trellis, like they're starting to grow through here. Found a watermelon. I don't know what it will be like, but we'll bring it inside and see. We got tiny little pumpkins in here. Another pumpkin growing in there. And a whole bunch of loofah. So I had already cut one open that was growing underneath our Middle Earth looking trellis here. It was all rotted on the inside, and I don't want that to happen again. So we are going to harvest these ones and see if we can get them to dry inside.
That's got some weight to it.
Wow, that's crazy.
You got this one?
Yeah, we're gonna take them all. All right, well, Steve does that. I'm gonna go look. Well done, Steve.
I think they like their house.
I think so too. We harvested a lot more today than I thought we would. Let me show you what we got. I don't think I talked about this, but yesterday morning we harvested this pumpkin back here from behind our house. The stem was pretty rotted, but the rest of the pumpkin's okay. These pumpkins, they were volunteer pumpkins from ones that I threw that were rotting that I threw back there last year. We have 3 of those total. I have 2 inside still. This little one I just got, I'm not sure what the variety is. The vines back there are crazy, but those were ones that I planted. I did try and grow pumpkins several times this year, and rodents and pests kept eating the seeds. So that's a crimson sweet watermelon there, I believe, and it's much smaller than the other one that we got. We harvested one this year that was like 30 pounds. So I'm not sure what it's going to be like to eat, but it's going to be sitting inside for a little while before we cut into it. We harvested a whole bunch of green tomatoes and some cherry tomatoes. Those are sunrise bumblebee on top mixed with a bunch of green and red rosella cherry. And then this is just like a mixture of slicing, Roma, paste. And then I do have some green beans here. These plants were from Fruition Seeds. It's the Provider bushing green bean. And hopefully I'll be able to save some of the seeds from those. We have a whole bunch of peppers here. Those are jalapenos with mixed in with unripe pumpkin spice jalapenos, pepperoncini peppers, Tabasco peppers. That plant is still loaded, but the peppers do not come off very easily unless they're ripe. So we just got too tired and just left them on there. These are Serrano chili peppers. These ones turn red when they're ripe. But again, the plant, it's struggling. It's been kind of cold here at nighttime, so I harvested most of them. There's still a lot on there. These ones are Cayenne Long Slim on top of Hungarian Hot Wax. Those are 2 Leisure peppers. I've got a collection of all kinds of different types of bell peppers that are way undersized, but they're not going to grow anymore. And then back there is a pile of the poblano peppers, which I have a whole bunch of peppers inside that I need to dice up and freeze so I can just do a big batch of canning all at once. You know, being pregnant and canning up hot peppers or anything pickled has been a struggle for me. So if I'm gonna do it, I'd rather just do it all at once or wait until after the baby comes and then can up a whole bunch of stuff. I've been preparing the vegetables and freezing them so that when I go to can them, they're ready to go. Like tomatoes, like they're washed and cored, and all I have to do is thaw them out, pull the skins off, and I'll be able to can them however I want. And the same thing with the peppers. I'll either slice them up or dice them up depending on what recipes I plan on making. We also harvested a whole bunch of loofah. I've never grown loofahs before. Like I said earlier, I had one that I cut into and it was so rotted and smelled horrendous. These ones, I'm hoping I'll be able to get them to dry out inside near our dehumidifier in our basement. They're huge. They're just huge. I mean, that's like 2 feet long. And then in the back there, we got a really good amount of sweet potatoes. So I will link the videos for the sweet potatoes with this video and how we grew them. This harvest reminds me of what we got the first year. I didn't get a whole bunch of sweet potatoes, but we got really good sized ones. Last year we got a few good sized ones and then a whole bunch of really tiny ones. Based on the suggestion of a kind person watching, they had said instead of using blood meal to use bone meal, and that worked out really, really well. I only pruned back the vines one time. One one of the vines actually did start flowering at one point. These are really nice. I mean, these are ones that I would pick at the store. And these are sweet potatoes that we grew from slips from sweet potatoes that we've grown over the past couple of years or so. I will save like the smaller ones like this to grow slips from. There's another one in here that's pretty small, and I actually have one growing still inside that has slips on it that I'm gonna try and baby through the spring of next year. So yes, we have a lot of things that we need to do inside. I'm not going to get to preserving or doing anything with the vegetables today. I just don't have time for it. The sweet potatoes, I have another video, I think the video from last year, where I show how I get them to cure using grocery bags. I don't really have grocery bags for this year, so I'm going to use different bags that we have.
You have little sandwich bags.
I might use like brown bags or something.
You have the little sandwich bags.
Oh, the sandwich bags I save?
Yeah. No. Remember you bought a bunch of them?
Like the brown bags? You'll have to show me.
Like the ones that are this wide.
That won't fit all those potatoes.
You're right.
I still don't know what you're talking about, but the size you just showed won't fit all the potatoes.
I know they won't fit all of them.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I think that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.